Hey,
Hi, good
how's it
morning,
going?
everyone. It's so
Happy New
good.
Year.
Happy New Year. I don't even know when was the last time we were here. It was before the New Year for sure.
It was. It was. So I'm excited to
Um,
kick off the new year.
I'm excited to be back. I feel like 2021 is gonna be. I have no expectations for it, if I'm being honest, because I don't want to say it's gonna be a great year because then I feel like I'm jinxing it. So it's just gonna be a year.
I mean,
It's gonna be a year.
I was gonna say it's gonna be the best year ever. So that's a total jinx.
No. Now if it goes wrong, it's on you. I hope you know
Okay.
that.
And it's recorded too.
Morally,
So
it's on you. Yeah, it's recorded, so everyone out in social media world is gonna remember this. It today at least can't be all bad though, because I have my 1 million cups cup.
yeah, Jessica did not let me or our founders or guests know about this today. So I'm
So I don't even remember
this-
when I got this, to be totally honest. I have 1 million cup stuff that floats around my house
Okay,
or
can I
my
go ahead
life.
and share with our friends, because we've got friends who will be tuning in live today, and we have friends that'll watch this later, that I believe that Jessica's hoarding the 1 million cup swag. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out here now, because every time she talks about all this 1 million cup stuff, and I've seen nothing.
Yeah, it's true. I have a closet somewhere. I was just telling Jasmine this morning, I have a closet somewhere in my apartment that has all of the 1 million cups. Um, so I do. That might be true, but
Okay,
I feel like hoarding necessitates I know where it is, so I can access
okay, at
it.
least we
I
do it
don't.
here.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool.
Technical definitions. Seriously though, we're excited to
Yeah,
have everyone here. It's going to be a great presentation. We have an awesome founder that is
I'm
going
going
to
to
speak
say
for a little
award-winning,
bit.
Jessica,
Award-winning,
award-winning founder.
award-winning
Yes,
founder. We were
yes.
just talking about this, and maybe if we're really nice to him, he will show us his award. Fingers crossed if we're lucky. And
No,
we
but
also
he's
have the deck
incredible.
here.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
next, our
Andrew's
special guest.
great. The deck is also here. I haven't scared them off yet, which
Yes.
if you had any idea out there in social media world, that is actually an accomplishment or an impressive feat on their behalf that they stuck around. So
It's only January, Jessica. It's only January.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not making any guesses about 2021.
Yeah.
I'm personally doing my part to just like tank the year.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, it's going to be great. Super excited to be back. We are filling out our agenda and schedule for the year. So if you have a company, I know we say this every time, but definitely if you have a company, you've been interested in presenting to 1 million cups and you want to talk to one of us, we're always happy to talk. You can submit an application through the 1millioncups.com website. And once you do that, you can chat with us about your application, about what days we have available, all sorts of stuff. So if you have a company and you've been waiting to pitch somewhere or you've been waiting to share with 1 Million Cup specifically, 2021 is the year. Make it happen this year while we're scheduling.
And I would add in too, a lot of us have been kind of in 2020 trying to figure out what's next for our businesses, haven't had a lot of FaceTime. So not only do you get to come out and just reintroduce your business, if you haven't spoken at 1 Million Cups, we'd love to have you. But this is saved, it's a video. And the cool thing about it being virtual for right now is that people tune in live, but lots of people watch this video afterwards. So you get a lot of additional exposure than just our first time. It just at the in-person meetings, which we're hoping to bring back hopefully soon this year. But some of the positives of virtual that you get this video. And I also think it's important just from a community perspective to know who's out there. Like there's so many cool companies. We just have such a huge city. So if you just need some additional awareness and PR or brand awareness of your company, like please connect with us. We'd love to have you.
Definitely. And, in terms of presenting, Jasmine and I are great people to present to. We are generally very friendly. Smiles all the way around. Generally, I mean, don't test me, man. Don't test me. Super friendly. We have no money to give you, so there's really no stakes in this game. I mean, in terms of getting your pitch perfected, getting feedback from the community if you're preparing for maybe a pitch competition or something like that, an accelerator pitch, something along those lines. This really is about building the community and helping you become, the best entrepreneur that you can be and grow your business into the best business that can be, whatever industry or type of business that may be. That being said, I should give you some background. If this is the first time that you've been to 1 Million Cups or 1 Million Cups Dallas, welcome. A little bit about the 1 Million Cups program. 1 Million Cups is an educational initiative of the Kauffman Foundation. And my favorite part about 1 Million Cups is that there are hundreds of chapters throughout the United States. And that's cool because it means Wednesdays at 9 a.m. when you join us virtually, or eventually when we meet back in person, then you join us in person. Not only are you supporting the local entrepreneurial community, but you're supporting a bigger conversation about entrepreneurship throughout the United States. And we have two purposes here at 1 Million Cups. One is networking. Virtual, we're working to build that community, and we hope that y'all are tuning in live so you can ask questions and engage with our presenters and our community spotlights and really take advantage of all the cool things and connections that can be made when you are tuned in live. But certainly we have online community through our Facebook page. We will do in-person events, and we do a lot of in-person events, and we have some cool collaborations coming up throughout the rest of the year that will hopefully give our community a chance to better engage with each other and with the 1 Million Cups program. And then obviously our educational component. So when you come to 1 Million Cups Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m., we generally will follow the same format. We have a presenter or two. These are founders. They'll come up and share their entrepreneurial experience, their journey, tell you a little bit about their company. And then we have an opportunity to ask them questions. And this is really facilitating that educational networking component of 1 Million Cups. So we always say, and I always say, feel free to ask questions. They don't always have to be positive questions. Constructive feedback can definitely be a great thing to receive, but all we ask is that you keep it short so our presenters have a chance to answer it, and also that you keep it constructive. Nobody needs bad vibes taking up their 2021 especially, or their morning before they've had enough coffee. So, and I will say, off the record, though it is on record because we're on video, that that was a little lawyer technicality.
Totally on the record.
Off the record. But I said it was off the record. We're working. We are actively working on ways to get coffee and food delivered. Not every time, but maybe one time.
There is a donut delivery. There's some kind of coffee donut startup out there that we will find.
Yeah. Hey, if you have a coffee and donut startup that delivers coffee and donuts, definitely hit us up. But we are actively working on making this happen. So if you tune in with us long enough and you put up with Jasmine and I enough long enough, you may get coffee and donuts. I'm not making promises. Asterisks. No promises.
When you say working,
trying really hard.
You mean eating. We're just basically eating and drinking for right now. That's what you mean by working.
I wish I had donuts right now. 1 Million Cups was like my excuse once a week to just eat a ton of kolaches and then be like, well, I had to eat them because they were like, I didn't want them to go.
Yes. Jessica, you're cutting in and out.
Our sponsors bought them, so I need to eat them. And now I don't have that.
Yeah, so Jessica, you're cutting in a little bit in and out. There's a delay. Okay. I'll share though. Maybe you log in and log back in because it's delayed. I'll also share some of the things we keep talking about, the virtual versus returning back to normal. I always like to say, just from being in the marketing space, that like this is the new normal. And so I think that moving forward, we of course can't wait to see everyone in person. But I think having a virtual presence is also just as important. And I always like to stress that we probably will move forward with the hybrid approach anyway, because not everyone could always make it in person for Wednesdays. And so I think this actually opens up an opportunity for a lot more people to see it. Some people are not morning people, because what I've noticed when we started doing these virtual, that you have some people that tune in live, but the majority of people watching this are watching it later when their schedule permits. So I would say that too, as we move forward, that this is the new normal. We will hopefully get to see you in person soon, but we probably will continue with some sort of virtual online presence just because it allows so many more people to get plugged in too.
Definitely, 100%. So with that being said, let's bring out our presenter. We are super excited to bring to the 1 Million Cups Dallas virtual stage, Andrew with Rikodi.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, thanks for having me. Although I'm having a little trouble because now I'm really hungry for donuts and kolaches, and I'm totally off my game now. Yeah. So I might be chewing on a pencil during the presentation.
But you have your award. This is the time
I did.
Bring in the award. Yeah.
Do you think I should?
Jasmine corrected me. She said, we have an award-winning presenter this morning.
Yeah.
There you go. The
award. Major award. Andrew, going to sit in my window.
Before you get started, before we leave the screen, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about your company.
You bet. Yeah, my name is Andrew Narr. I'm founder of a company called MediaX Partners. We're building a platform called Rikodi, which we'll see here in a second. Rikodi is actually a Swahili term to record or to preserve. And when you see our product, you'll kind of understand why we chose that name. So, but my background is I've been in marketing and PR for 30 years. I've been blessed to work with some great companies, some great agencies, and some global brands. I've spent quite a few years in consulting with startups, where I really have my heart and a passion. So, but one day, I think it was on a flight home somewhere, I said, I'm going to keep a good idea for myself one of these days. So this is what we have today. So I'm excited to share. So thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. Are you brand new to the 1 Million Cups family? Have you presented at any of the local chapters before?
I have. I presented at Fort Worth and Frisco. Actually, I'm one of the volunteers with the Frisco chapter.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, I've been with them for about going on 3 years now.
We have a lot of love for the Frisco chapter. I don't want to say Andrew specifically avoided. He waited until I left Frisco, and then he was like, now I'll go volunteer.
I kept driving around the parking lot to see if Jessica was there, and then if she wasn't.
That's smart.
Now I'm going. I'm committed at that point. All in.
Well, we'll hop off the screen, Andrew, and let you do
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I'm going to hit my share screen. There we go. All right, so I hope everybody can see this. Hold on, I don't know what. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this. So these are my lovely parents. It was a few years ago I had to announce to the world that my father, who was a pastor for 50 years, was suffering with dementia or with Alzheimer's. And my mother, who had been a teacher for about 40 years, her health was failing as well. She had been battling with lupus. And after I made that announcement on social media and email with family and friends, I started to receive, really, I was inundated with people sharing their memories. And these were people from around the world who had been affected by my parents. They were sending emails, handwritten letters, texts, posting on social, that kind of thing. They were sharing pictures. They were sharing, even some had gone as far as digitizing videos of their weddings or special occasions where my parents were involved and that type of thing, and sharing it with me. And it kind of struck me that I wish I had some more creative format to be able to allow people to share their memories, to be able to organize it in a way that resembled more of a digital scrapbook, instead of just people sharing it and I'm having to save it and upload it into a cloud folder and don't really have a chance to organize it in a way. So that was the inspiration for Rikodi. And Rikodi is designed to be a collaborative content platform for family and friends or just groups to be able to collaborate together, to leverage digital assets, to create these multimedia scrapbooks so they can preserve their favorite memories, they can share them, but most importantly, they can relive them at any time that they want. So what does a Rikodi experience look like? Well, we are targeting two experiences right now. We're focused on the consumer market. So what that entails is giving people their own kind of digital library, an online library that they subscribe to. They come in, they get pre-formatted layouts. So we try to make it as easy as possible for them to come in and have the fun of working together to build these scrapbooks out. So they can upload pictures, videos, PDFs, whatever kind of digital asset they have. We support that within the layouts, so they can. And then once they're finished with that book, they can choose to make it public and share across their social platforms, or they can keep it private and then select a list of readers who have private access to that book. But we're also in our research, we found a great opportunity in the sports and entertainment world, and so we have a plan of licensing the technology to allow teams to set up a branded portal where they can customize their categories. And then they have some very powerful analytics on the back end that kind of show them engagement, success, share of voice, those type of very important things that they need to follow. But they also have a document management platform, so they can set up editorial responsibilities. They can also set up abilities to communicate with other people within the organization, as well as they can communicate one-on-one with fans as well. But it's the opportunity for teams now to take content that's pretty much not doing anything for them, either sitting on their own servers or just sitting on people's phones or clouds or hard drives and not doing anything. So now they can merge this content together and create some very, very exciting dynamic content that, again, can be shared and relived over and over, which is what sports fans love to do most, is relive our favorite memories. The reason we've selected those two markets is for a couple of big reasons. One is even pre-COVID, there was a tremendous amount of desire in the sports world for better fan engagement. And because engagement had kind of become passive in the social world, but really, truly something that had fans working with the teams, more personalized kind of experiences, that type of thing. And then obviously post-COVID has really accelerated that opportunity as well, because there's a bigger demand not only for the fan engagement, but also to find new sources of revenue, because they're seeing that sponsorships are something that are very vulnerable right now. Plus, sponsors are looking for more digital focused programs to show as analytics to be able to see true responses to campaigns that they've created. And then on the consumer side, even before what's happened in the last week or so, there was a lot of animosity of getting on social. People were finding it a very positive experience, a very negative experience. But now with COVID, it's also created a big surge in nostalgia, that people are wanting to remember their favorite, obviously their favorite memories, favorite experiences, those type of life experiences. Their relationships are more important to them now, so they're wanting to find ways of being able to share and relive favorite memories. So we feel like we found a great confluence, not only pre-COVID, but post-COVID now, some big trends in the marketplace that can lead to some great acceptance for Rikodi. We're also targeting a very large market. This is just the U.S. only, about an $80 billion market when you spread it across the sports marketing world, and then on memory preservation, what people are spending to preserve pictures, videos, different things like that. So there's a lot of money in this market right now. So during our time and based on what we have seen from the market trends, from our testing, we've tested with about 1,000 influencers, feedback from consumers, feedback from the sports and entertainment world. This is our business model. Like I mentioned, we're looking at licensing the product on a SaaS model to the teams. We're also trying to make it affordable for teams like in minor league type teams like the Legends, the Frisco Rough Riders, people like that, to be able to afford it as well, but also for the top tier pro teams and college athletic departments. And there's some other kind of specialty offerings that we feel like that we can bring to the table as well. On the consumer side, we're trying to make it a free experience, but giving people the ability to create books and then store it up to a certain level. And then beyond that, they're just really paying for storage. Beyond that, they can still maintain everything that they've created. We'll never delete anything, but they can just only, if they want to create more content, they'll just have to buy more storage that way. We also have the ability in our back end to allow sponsors to come in and create books as well. So there won't be the digital ads, banner ads, things like that. Sponsors will also be creating books where they can actually collaborate with our community members for them to share memories about experiences with their brand, that type of thing. So we've been very fortunate in the short time that we've been up and going. We've had a great success at developing a prototype, testing it with about 1,000 consumers, but mainly the vast majority of those were influencers in food and travel and parenting, people who'd created a lot of content, but a lot of multimedia content. So it gave us great perspective on what people wanted, but also what they didn't want. And then that also helped us in bringing great focus to our business model. Right now, we have about 25 to 30 Division I athletic departments and pro teams who've expressed interest in licensing the product. We have received a trademark on the Rikodi name and the Rikodi logo design, which we're very excited about. We have completed our front-end UX UI design work, and we're in the middle. We've just started a fundraise to finish out the product and then focus on sales and marketing. And I'm excited to announce we just secured our first investor this week, so that will allow us to get started on the back-end work. We were accepted into the Game Plan U National Sports Tech cohort last year, which has really opened a lot of doors. And through that, we participated in their national sports tech competition that started in October and was a 5-week series of competitions, which we beat out 31 other startups to win that. And then also we won the judges panel, which included 2 representatives from a Major League Baseball team and from an NFL team, which then opened the door to them wanting to talk with us about licensing the product. So we're very excited about Rikodi. We have a good team in place that's really going to help us launch and I think scale. Is going to meet the demands for the opportunities that are out there in front of us right now. So that is it.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing that with us. So As I'm sure you're familiar with, we always ask the same first question to our presenters, and that is, what can our community or 1 Million Cups do for you?
Well, one, I'd love to be able to connect with people because now that we are starting the back-end development, there'll be some testing opportunities. The great thing about the design of Rikodi is that we're building a core fundamental platform that can, just with a few tweaks, have an application into the sports world, or have an application into the healthcare world, or some others. So we'd love to have people who'd want to kind of test the product as well. That'd be great. Then obviously we'd keep them around when the product launches for them to use. We love to have open doors into sports teams, into brands. We have found a lot of interest from brands who want to use this as a marketing platform. And of course, with my background, that was something that I was very attuned to, was trying to build this through the prism of marketing, PR, social media, sponsorship, people. So would love to have, introductions there, discussions with these people. So that's really key. We just love to have people's involvement. Love them to have them, part of the process as we finish out development.
Awesome. So I know, obviously we're live streaming this, and so I'll just share some questions with you.
Sure.
One of the questions, what do you believe, or how have you adapted during COVID? I know you kind of talked about a pivot that you did. Was that COVID related, or, what has been your biggest challenge during this otherwise kind of chaotic time?
COVID actually became our biggest salesperson. Because
not bad. That's not a bad position to be in.
No. In fact, there was, I'll admit, when the first week of COVID happened, when the shutdown started, I thought, well, I'm sure like a lot of founders, it was this is it. There's no way people are going to be interested in looking at startups and wanting to invest and that type of thing. But the first week of COVID, I actually received 2 calls from teams asking, they'd heard about it from someone else who'd already seen the demo, and asked when the product was going to be ready. And what it did was it where before there was a big issue around fan engagement, that there was already a big focus on that. Also a focus on sponsors for really pushing more for being involved in digital campaigns, that it wasn't just enough to have a billboard out in center field, or have a sign down on court side, that type of thing. They really wanted to start having programs that pointed to results, where they could see results. So digital was becoming a big opportunity there. So when COVID happened, then the worries about losing the fans, so that that just put a greater spotlight on it. But then when they started losing the revenue, obviously from sponsors dropping off because they weren't having the live games and that type of thing, they started looking around, going, where can we generate new revenue now, and where can this revenue come from for long term? And then of course on the consumer side, you just put in Google nostalgia and COVID, and there's numerous research articles out there about how this has really forced this wave of nostalgia, that people are putting they're putting more emphasis now on relationships and experiences, and going back and reliving favorite memories and that kind of thing. And they really feel like this is more of a permanent thing, that there's also a COVID generation that's going to be coming up, that where nostalgia is really going to play a big part in their lives. So it really brought those issues kind of to the forefront. So I didn't have to do much talking. It was the news, the news of the world was doing the talking for us.
So it sounds, based on what you've said, and also I have known Andrew for a little while, so I guess I'm using some background information here in full disclosure. But, what is it like for maybe new entrepreneurs? We've had a lot of people that have become entrepreneurs during COVID or have decided to finally chase their business. So what would you say the challenges or even benefits are to being a non-technical co-founder for the most part in a technical company? Because I feel like most entrepreneurs, even ones launching tech companies, are non-technical co-founders. And I think that brings with it its own set of unique kind of challenges and experiences.
Yeah, that's a great point, because it's something I've struggled with. And have gone back and forth about trying to find a tech co-founder, that type of thing, and talking with people. I think even talking with you, about it. But what I've found is that what we're all trying to do is solve problems, and technology just may be that avenue to solve the problem. So it's not necessarily having to understand tech. It's really, do you understand the problem? Do you understand the market? Do you understand the person that you're trying to sell this product, that you're trying to convince to buy your product? Actually, I found what helped me when I was meeting with the teams, with the athletic departments and the pro teams, was I was talking to my peers, and I was talking to them about marketing and PR and sales issues. I wasn't wowing them with tech. They don't care. They don't care about that. As long as it works, as long as it helps their job, as long as it generates revenue, as long as it helps them meet their goals, they don't really care about the tech. As long as if it's easy to install and they can get up and running, that's even better. But it actually was better for me because I was able to sit and have discussions and listen to them. In fact, it really helped in the long term, because when the first meetings were with the digital marketing social media teams, and the very first meeting was with that. And then they said, what, we ought to bring in so-and-so from sponsorship. We need to bring in someone from sales. So they did. And that first meeting that was supposed to last 30 minutes ended up being 2 hours. And it was a brainstorm, because now they recognized that this wasn't just another social media platform, that this was a true marketing sales platform that was going to provide a return on investment. It was going to help generate revenue for them, because we also have an e-commerce component built into the licensing place. So people can buy tickets within the book, and they could buy merchandise, things like that. It was all built, again, through the marketing PR prism. So that helped me as the next meetings I took on. I made sure that someone from sales, or sponsorship were in there as well, because then that way it turned in from me telling them about Rikodi to them telling me how Rikodi could be used. So don't fear being non-technical. It's really about, you're developing a solution. Do you understand that market, and do you ultimately understand the buyer?
Interesting. Well, that, I think that's a great perspective. And I do think that, especially what you said, you were really a technical layperson talking to technical lay people, which makes it a lot easier from a sales and kind of advocacy component for the business. Right. And that's a really interesting perspective. So I want to thank you so much for coming on. I
Thanks for
really
having
appreciate you being here. Congratulations on your award. I agree you should just have it floating, maybe put up a floating shelf right behind your head.
I'm gonna work on that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure that'll be at the top of your to-do list.
It will.
But seriously, thank you. We love having local entrepreneurs, especially, and you did a great job. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine.
There was one question though, real quick in the comments, Andrew. I don't know if you saw it from Shaylin. I thought it was a really great question. I also wanted to ask about the name too, if there's any significance But Shaylin asked, have you considered using the design to help curate photos and video for student athletes seeking to be recruited for colleges or professional?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's what I try to do in the presentation is really let people know that we're very focused when we're launching this, because there's actually and that's one of the biggest markets that we would love to go into is for families, kids be able to be able to use this, especially now that the NIL, the name, image, likeness issue is really coming to the forefront, and that's going to affect college sports going forward. But kids could use this for recruiting. It could be used for training. That's kind of the beauty of the platform, is that it's really we love to call it just a creative whiteboard, and it's only limited by your creativity, by how you want to do it. In fact, our newest investor owns quite a few assisted living facilities up north, and he invested because he saw the potential in dementia and Alzheimer's therapy, which is something that we had tested. So it, allowing family and friends to create these digital scrapbooks and then put them in, into a therapy session, because that's more powerful, is getting that patient to discuss, the memory. Can they recall that type of thing? So yes, so it's the perfect platform for that kind of thing, and we would love for young athletes and families to use that for recruiting. In fact, we had one of the Division I programs say that they want to use the platform to build specific personalized books to recruits, so that people within inside the department and the teams can contribute, and then they send out a personalized multimedia book too. So yes, it's perfect for that. We'd be very excited to see people using that and to understand their use case and their success with it.
Cool. So I think if you're watching this at a later time and you have questions for Andrew, just tag the company, which we also we'll do in this post as well. Feel free to come back to this post and submit questions. And Andrew, if we see something, we'll let you know if someone has some more questions for you.
Thank you. Yeah. And feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, and my emails also, it's just Andrew@Rikodi, RIKODI.com. And I don't know, did someone ask a question about the name?
Oh, I did.
You did? Yeah. It's I hate to admit this, being the marketing PR person, but my lawyer actually, a previous lawyer, came up with this idea. It's a friend of mine. But Rikodi it's not a made up term. It's a Swahili word that defines as to record or to preserve. And that's what Rikodi is all about, is that we want to help make it easy for people to record and preserve their favorite memories, but also to be able to relive them. I mean, that's what we love about them. It's not just putting it in one place and putting it on a shelf. That we want to be able to take it down and relive it, but have a 360 perspective. So you have text as well as pictures, as well as audio, as well as PDFs, all the elements that tell the complete story that you don't get in just a typical photo book. You're still saying, well, who's this? Who's that? Why are they here? We try to eliminate that. So
very cool. Well, I feel like, Jessica, we should probably revisit with Andrew like in 6 months. Like, I feel like this is the time right now for your platform. So
thank you. I appreciate it. I think so too. We have a lot of momentum, and so we're looking forward to a productive 2021.
Cool. Thanks so much, Andrew.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Andrew.
you.
That was awesome,
Okay.
Jessica.
It was awesome. Such a great start. I feel like I am a little more awake now. I'm one of those non-morning people.
And Jessica, that's really what today is about, is that nothing gets started until you are like you're awake. And it feels like there's a light around you now too. Like, it does feel like it's a brightness going on.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like the caffeine's starting to set in.
Yes.
My brain is like, oh, right. Being awake and alive. This is what it feels like.
Awesome.
So thank you, Andrew, for that. And now we have our community spotlight.
Yeah.
So our community spotlight is a a segment that we recently introduced when we started back up after we took a little COVID break. And we're very excited. This is a couple minutes that we have in every session that we do where we bring a community resource to y'all as the community, because Jasmine and I have both been in the startup and entrepreneurial community for years now. I won't say how many years because I don't think either of us need that in our lives right now.
Thank you.
But we've been around for a little while, and so we know, just as well as I'm sure most of you know, that there's so many resources in Dallas, and there's so many different players and moving parts that it can be really challenging sometimes to keep up with everything that's going on and everyone that is out there to help entrepreneurs. So we're hopefully going to make that a little bit easier by bringing those community resources to you and giving you a little bit of information about them and giving them a chance to talk about themselves for a little bit. And I'm super excited for this week specifically because one, I don't think, if you've been around the Dallas Entrepreneur community, I'm sure that you are familiar with the Dallas Entrepreneur Center, the DEC for short. But these two speakers, specifically Chris and Will, are guys that we've had a lot of good conversations with. And I'm sure Jasmine, I don't like to speak for Jasmine, but I'm sure Jasmine, you've known Will for years as well. So we won't say once again how many years, because Will, and I know he gets
he's concerned about that. Yeah.
But we are super excited to have them. So let's bring Chris and Will out.
Good morning. Can we make a comment about Will's background?
I
don't know what happened there, Jessica.
Sorry.
I think now you're awake with coffee and StreamYard's not having it.
I know. I'm awake with coffee. I don't want to say that this was Chris's doing because Chris just,
It was. And it's funny you said, Jessica. I'm already about to hit my third double espresso, so maybe that's what does it, right?
Oh, we should have started, Chris. If we had started with this conversation,
maybe we should have.
Maybe
just don't be doing this
tonight
because that may be beyond my capability. But,
I was just
love it.
Comment about Will's background. It feels very artistic, modern.
I know.
What's going on?
Will is living in friggin' 2030 over here, and we're still struggling through 2021.
It's not my normal background over here. I have to change rooms every time I get on a call, and my wife's on a call right now. So
okay.
I get moved to the bedroom. But I do have to say about us being in the startup community for a long time, we all just joined when we were really young. That's what.
Yes, prodigies.
There you go.
I agree.
Yes. So I think the community spotlight, to your point, Jessica, was for people that are brand new, because one of the things that we've discovered in just being a part of 1 Million Cups is, of course, the community is very aware, but there's so many founders out there that are just finding out about 1 Million Cups and actually don't know what the DEC is too. Like they are literally brand new and they've been here for a while. So maybe that would be a good first step, is to try to tell us what the DEC is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just quick introductions. My name is Chris Bowles. I'm president and founder of a startup started in 2020, DRG Payment Solutions. More importantly, I've been involved with the DEC, the Dallas Entrepreneurial Center, for several years. I'm on the board, and Will is joining me today. Will's a program manager, and he's much more educated in what the DEC does than I am. But I just want to say a few words about a couple of things that are important. Obviously, being part of the board is important to make sure that we have a clear vision and mission for entrepreneurs here locally in the Dallas area. But I'm also a mentor, and one of the questions often comes up is what is the mentorship program, and what value could I get out of it? For me, what I focus on, and what a lot of our mentors focus on, is some of the basics of starting a business, right? So how do I build a business plan? Can someone vet my business plan? Is it robust? What about my pitch, right? So either if I'm pitching to investors, if I'm pitching to potential clients, how does that look? And as you can see, I've got a lot of white and gray hair, and I've got the benefit of being pitched to a lot of times over the years. I was an executive for several companies, and having been the recipient of pitches, I've seen great pitches, I've seen average pitches, and I've seen some that maybe they shouldn't have been pitching, frankly. And so what I'm able to do is actually help with those pitches, and I like to be very direct. And if frankly, if someone's pitching and 30 seconds into it, I'm on my phone, right? That's probably not a good pitch. So I can help with that, and we can hone those pitches and make sure they're great pitches when they hit home. Also, as a mentor, we can help extend networks out here locally, right? So who do I want to talk to in an investment community? Who do I want to talk to who may be target clients or can get me to target clients? I and other mentors can help with that. May not be me personally, but I may know someone. It's not really 6 degrees of separation these days. It's usually no more than 2. So I'm very passionate about it. I'm excited about our refreshed mentorship program. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to hand over to Will because he's really the expert in the deck, and I'll let Will take it from here.
Thanks, Chris. Chris has been with the mentor program for quite a while now, so he's seen it all from the startup perspective. Just to kind of highlight why you were already mentioning the mentor program. Sorry, I should introduce myself. Will Akins. I'm the program manager for the DEC. I run the Revive Dallas Fund, which is a partnership to get loans to small businesses and get those loans forgiven so they become grants. Finishing up that program to help support small businesses. But I've been with the DEC for quite some time beforehand and involved in the startup community in a few different organizations. But while Chris was mentioning the mentor program, it reminded me of a couple of the big numbers that we have going on. We have over 200 mentors on the platform, and with average meetings of like 45 minutes to an hour, we have about 300 hours of meetings that have already happened on that through the mentor program. And this is the relaunch, right? So whenever COVID hit, we relaunched to do it virtually. We do have a call out for mentors. So if you're an industry expert and you're looking to give back or connect in different ways, encourage you to reach out and we'll get you set up on the mentor program. And there are benefits to being a mentor as well. I mean, you're opening up your network to small business owners and entrepreneurs. We want to be able to help expand your professional network as well. Currently, it's open to resident members and participants of the Revive Dallas Fund, but we want to expand that. That's why we're doing a larger call for mentors. So I'm excited to open that up because that's one of the biggest areas where, business owners need help, but you have to either pay time or pay money to get that experience. So you're really kind of shortening that learning curve there. I did want to touch on the community membership real quick. So if you're looking to get plugged in, this just launched on Monday and we're pretty pumped about it. It's a free membership. So anybody in the community can sign up and get connected. The whole purpose is just connecting you with other resources and business owners. A lot of those small businesses will have similar needs, so we can create that virtual environment and get people connected so we can address multiple needs at the same time. Could be college students, business owners, entrepreneurs, anybody who can benefit from those resources, somebody that we want to engage with and sign up with. And additionally, you'll get private speaker sessions, specifically during Dallas Startup Week. We're adding discounts for you. You'll have those resources. You'll know about the events that are coming up, and you'll be on a community Slack channel, so you'll have access to everybody. And I know this is supposed to be like a 3-minute update, and I might be going over here, but just to highlight some of the events that we had this past week, an intellectual property overview and licensing tips that every business owner should know. That's our Redbird Entrepreneur Center that's hosting that. And a couple other events that were hosted already, writing a business plan, hosted by Lift Fund. That's one of our partners with Revive, and they help with programming as well. So if you're looking for help with business plans, I want to give an endorsement to Jessica Vittorio if you're looking for an attorney, but we do have some programming as well well, she hosts some programming with the DEC before, so we could get you more engaged there. And then another one is 2020 taxes, updates and challenges and how you navigate that as a business owner. So just the core, things that business owners need to know are some of the events that we're hosting. And I will tell you how to sign up for these things. If you go to the DEC.co, that's our website, THEDEC.co, the DEC.co. There's a join button in the top right to get plugged into that free community. There's a newsletter you can sign up for. Just scroll down on that main page. There's a link that you can sign up there. So those are the two best ways to start getting plugged in. But really, we just want to connect small business owners and entrepreneurs with the resources that are most beneficial to them. One of them being, I'll give a big endorsement here, 1 Million Cups. I mean, it's been a very long-standing program. You guys have been Jasmine and Jessica have been doing a fantastic job. I know Andrew does a good job in Frisco. Shout out to you, Andrew. But yeah, it's great to have communities like this where people can connect digitally. So whether it's a DEC resource or it's another community resource, we want to make sure we get you connected to the right place.
So I have two quick questions. Will, so just to confirm, what's the cost of the membership? And if I am on the community membership or if I actually want to be a mentor, can you clarify that too?
Yeah, totally. So the community membership is free. That's just one of the tiers of our membership to get plugged in. If you need mailbox, co-working space, dedicated office, that kind of stuff, then there's a fee for that. But the community membership to get plugged in is completely free, and mentorship is completely free. If we get more mentors added, which I'm sure we will, we're expanding our network. Everybody's been really bought in because DFW honestly has a great community where people want to give back first. Signing up for a mentor is completely free, but also being a mentor is completely free. And because you're a volunteer, you're going to get additional exposure, additional help from the DEC network, and you'll expand your professional network.
Got it. Cool. Jessica, I just had one more question for Chris. Since Chris, you've been kind of in the ecosystem for a bit, what kind of changes have you seen, and kind of, not to get your crystal ball out, what do you kind of think what are your thoughts for this year as we kind of left last year and head on this new, I would say optimistically amazing, fabulous year that we're headed into.
Jasmine conservatively referred to it as the best year ever. So
that's pretty conservative. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm excited about it because personally, with what hit us in 2020, there was already a lot of pent up demand when you look at investment capital out there, both large scale and local, and most of that didn't transpire. So I personally think there's a lot of pent up demand. I've actually seen it. I was pinged by someone just on Friday night about something they want to get started in 2021. So I'm personally pretty pumped that there's private equity investment out there. There's other forms of investment that just didn't come to pass in 2020. And there's investors, maybe institutional, non-institutional investment arms that want to spend those funds and are looking for great investments. So I think it's a great year to be an entrepreneur in 2021.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And I think Andrew's point exactly with Rikodi, right? Like that COVID was actually a positive. I think it was hard for a lot of founders, but I think a lot of founders that are able to pivot and hustle and move a little faster, I think also were able to take something that was not the best and move. And Andrew's story, I was really great to hear that he was been able to kind of really see some success.
I think so. And 2020 was very hard on certain industries, particularly hospitality, retail, restaurants. There's a lot of people out there who lost their business, right? Entrepreneurs, particularly in food and beverage, etc. Many of those people want to get back in and start again.
Yeah.
And if given the opportunity to do that, they can be very successful like they were pre-COVID.
Totally agree. Jessica, any thoughts?
Yeah, the DEC is has so many facets to it, and there's so many different types of resources that the DEC offers. I think, seeing how quickly the Fast Start mentoring program restarted in COVID was really amazing, and having a team in place that could quickly turn that stuff around. In terms of 2021, I've seen investment turnaround, certainly for clients. I think there was maybe 3 or 4 months there where things kind of got put on pause as investors and funds were trying to feel out where the market was going to go. But I have high hopes for 2021. I think that when people who are truly entrepreneurial get kind of backed into a corner like this can, for a lot of them, be best case scenario and be the door that opens to everything else that they're going to do. So I don't think it's going to be the best year ever. I don't like to call any year the best year ever, but
what a Debbie Downer. Oh my God.
Dude, talk to my clients that pay me to be a professional.
Okay, this is true. You're going to be
it comes with the territory. But I think the DEC has a lot of great resources. And I did see the post about the IP workshop that y'all have coming up. And if you are watching and you own a company, please go to their intellectual property workshop. Someone is giving you two very competent individuals. I researched them, so I'm making sure y'all are not having shady speakers in here. Two very competent professionals are going to give you free advice.
Yeah.
Guys.
Will, so can you come back to the comments on our page and share the link for that sometime today?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I can I'll drop it in the.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'll drop that in there.
Okay. And then I'd like to hear, because we're kind of switching to this virtual and we're on the process of lining up new founders to come and present here. This idea of pitching, I think, Chris, you brought this up, but Will, you've been around in the community and you've heard lots of pitches too. As maybe a founder who's up at 2 a.m. decides, hey, I want to watch this 1 Million Cups replay at 2 a.m. That's something I would do. Do we have what's your thoughts or advice, and specifically because we do know some of the industries were hit really hard, and some may be thinking this could be the best year ever, but they're not quite there yet, right? Because it was tough. What's your advice as far as getting out and presenting? Any suggestions, any advice as far as if they decide to come to 1 Million Cups, or they are pitching for an accelerator, or there's a competition coming up? Any thoughts or advice for founders?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just getting out there, putting yourself out there and starting to get involved. I mean, the DEC, part of our mission is connecting people to the right resources, but that's the same thing that we're doing on the call today, with these entrepreneurs. So I would just say, just start getting involved somewhere, because it's a really good ecosystem that DFW has. There's a ton of resources here as well. It's just everybody's not always aware of them. So raising awareness and plugging in, because honestly, when more people are plugging in, the more resources are available, and it just kind of builds that momentum that's I think crucial for helping everyone.
And take advantage of the resources we have, particularly your mentors who've, like I said, been recipients of pitches. Just like going for a job interview, you don't want to go to a job interview and that's the first time you practice in a job interview. You don't want to be pitching the first time to an investor or potential clients. We're a low risk environment, right? Come in, make mistakes, learn, come and pitch again, and we'll help you hone it. So it's hopefully it's a super pitch when it does come time to really be in front of someone who matters.
Awesome. Well, I know we only have like a minute or two left. Any final words from Chris or Will or Jessica?
I just want to say how impressive it is that Jessica is not a morning person, but she does a 9 a.m. program every Wednesday with you.
And I bring the jokes. If you have read reviews about Women Cups,
jokes,
they're
quotation.
I don't want to say world famous because that feels too much, but
she warms up well as everyone was witness to today. There's a warm up phase. Yeah.
When I first got on, I wasn't feeling it. I'm gonna be honest.
But it wasn't us, Jessica. It's just you.
It wasn't. No, it was never you. It's always me.
Well, thanks so much, you guys, for coming on. And like we said, we'll definitely also post about the upcoming classes too. And let us know if we can ever help support. Hopefully we'll get to have you come back on too as we start to ramp back up now that we're here back in the new year. But thank you so much for all that you're doing. Chris, thanks so much for being a mentor, super valuable. We need more of business owners and CEOs to come back to the community. So thank you. And Will, always thank you for being positive and letting very strong women not intimidate you, because we can be very pushy to Will.
Also, Will meditates. Will, how's your meditation streak going?
I'm doing one. I'm 2 weeks strong. I haven't missed a day in 2 weeks, but I got to get back up there. I got to get it.
What an inspiration.
This is why he's fine with alphas. I've wondered why.
This is why he's just like a Zen person generally.
Maybe that's what you do, Jessica, in future. You meditate before you start your 9 o'clock.
I do. It's called sleeping.
Yeah.
At least 3 hours before I come on here.
Well, thanks everybody, and
Thank
we'll
you.
see you soon. Thanks so much.
you.
Have a great week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.